Sikit sikit, lama lama, jadi bukit. Okay, for those foreigners who don't know what it means, I will tell you at the end. I just want you to think back last time when you stayed in a nice hotel for a couple of nights. What happened with the waste bin? How much of the toiletries did you wrap open and used? Maybe you wrapped open the toiletry that had the soap bar inside. You used the soap 2 or 3 times, and what happened with the rest of the soap? Most hotels now are going green, big time. You name it, whether it's the Hilton with a big commitment to renewable energy, Accor has the big Planet 21 strategy, they're planting loads of trees, they are focusing on environmental and human health. One of my clients, the Datai Langkawi, they are phasing out single-use plastic, they're using organic, biodegradable, permaculture with the goal of zero waste. But there is one big problem with all of this. Guess what? The hotel guests, you and me. Are we actually supporting the hotels with their goal to have minimum environmental impact through our behavior? Are you? Yes, let's be honest to ourselves. I had that discussion with a couple of hospitality students in KL last year. And they admitted to me, yes, we don't like to admit it, but we love to grab all the toiletries that we can get and anything else because we paid for it already. But this mindset leads to a gigantic amount of waste because most of the time it's packaged up in very, very small units that get used one time and then thrown away. This is a big problem, and only our behavior can really change that. I realized that problem when I was working a couple of years ago during the summer breaks at Club Med as their eco speaker. Club Med does a lot of amazing entertainment. They have courses for the kids. You can go sailing if they're on the beach somewhere. Other places you can go skiing. You can have a great time. And they thought, maybe people are interested in going green. Let's get the green man in to give some eco talks. But what I realized was, nobody was interested. I was sitting there, nearly alone by myself. I was desperately getting my eco gadget out. I used to have this reusable shopping bag, which looked like a panda bear. So I was trying to attract the kids for my eco talks, because I was feeling so alone. I was partially successful to get some kids in, then some of the parents joined, but overall I realized people want to have fun, they want to be in the pool, at the beach, they want to do some sports out there, but while they're on holiday, they're not thinking about go green and save the planet. Actually, overall, go green or addressing climate change often seems to be not number one priority because maybe the 2%, 2 degrees temperature change that will flood a lot of areas, even areas in Singapore and Johor Bahru that are close to the sea level, maybe we are thinking that will be very far away in the future. Stephen Hawking, before he passed away last year, he revised his prediction about how much time the human species has on the planet from originally 1,000 years down to 100 years unless we change. I believe that change is not that difficult. And if change becomes a mindset and a behavior, then it can be very powerful. I used to live in a condo in Kuala Lumpur. My landlady called me up after 4 months of living in that condo. Hey, Matthias, something wrong with you? Never at home? Are you manipulating the electricity meter? The British guy who was living there before me, his electricity bill per month was 500 ringgit or more. Mine was 28, 31, and 30. So I had over 90% less electricity consumption, and my landlady was kind of, have you bought solar panels? Solar panels would have been maybe expensive for such a unit, and I don't own the unit, so it's unlikely that I'm going to invest in it. My landlady wanted to meet up for a chat. We had a chat, we had a coffee, and the conclusion was it's mindset and behavior that is the change, the difference. Now I want to teach you 5 simple eco-hacks, how you can shift your stay in a hotel from potentially today generating loads of waste to hopefully in the future being a zero waste or close to zero waste hotel guest. Nobody is perfect. I was voted greenest person on the planet, but I'm not perfect yet. I'm not a vegan. Yes, we don't eat meat, and surprise, surprise, I have shoes that inside say vegan shoes. First time I saw this. Sometimes I wear organic cotton innerwear, organic cotton shoes, loads of other eco-friendly things. This shirt I've been wearing maybe more than 100 times. You put it in the washing machine. The material is not necessarily eco-friendly, but it's so good when you wash it, it looks like brand new. You don't even need to iron it. So it is eco-efficient by now. So my 5 hacks are actually very, very simple. And I will show them to you in real life. Most of these hacks, what you need for that, are actually in my pocket. The number 1 you see here. If you have a water tumbler with you, when you stay in a hotel, then you do not need any plastic bottles. Now, this is one of the problems I have seen as well here today. Very few of you have water tumblers. Most of us have been using one-time use plastic bottles. If we are lucky, they get recycled. If we are not lucky, they end up in landfill. Just a simple water tumbler like this. I refilled it last night in the Forest City Phoenix Hotel downstairs in the gym. We didn't touch a single plastic water bottle. There were 3 bottles there. They are still standing there when the cleaning staff will come in today without them having been touched. The only place ever where I was not able to refill my water bottle in the gym was 2 years ago in Ghana. In Africa, some countries had been affected by the Ebola virus. So there was this tough guy in the gym standing there saying, no, you're not allowed to refill. I said, why? Never heard about this before. That's our procedure against the Ebola virus. And the guy looked very tough and very strong. I didn't want to fight with him. So I just went to the hotel reception and asked the staff there, can you refill it for me? And they did. There is always a solution. Breakfast, gym, or somebody else that can refill your water tumbler. So this is number 1. And it can massively reduce the amount of plastic bottles that we actually use out there. Number 2, let me see what I can find here in my pocket. Oh, there is my bamboo toothbrush and my small refillable toothpaste. I don't throw this away, I refill this from a bigger toothpaste container, and that helps me to avoid that I need to open up the toothpaste and the toiletry stuff there with the toothpaste in. And often when you stay in a hotel, most people might use it 1 night, 2 nights, 3 nights, and then it becomes rubbish. The advantage of a biodegradable bamboo toothbrush is that it can go back to the soil. At least the bamboo here. This one might not be 100% biodegradable. If you want to minimize your amount of material you travel, this is one of those travel toothbrushes. That's another option. Very handy, and it's kind of staying a little bit more clean in your pocket. So this is hack number 2. Let's see what else we've got in my pocket. Can you see this one? It's actually from the Philippines, Human Nature. It's eco-friendly soap and shampoo. But the good news is, guys, I'm botak, bold. I don't need shampoo. At least not here. So I save a lot of shampoo, a lot of water. So if any of you guys are starting to go bald, botak, don't worry. It's good for the planet. Very good for the planet. The other good thing about this one is, it is big enough up here so you can actually refill it. People might look at you strange when you're in the toilet, you know, using this soap pumper and refill it in a public toilet, but it does the job. It works. And if you need a little bit more, this is what my wife, you know, I'm so lucky. She is such an eco-friendly person. She came up with this idea. This is a simple wax packaging material, and our soap bar is in there. If you use a soap bar on the road, it's wet. It can be sticky if you put it with your other clothing or stuff like that. So here, the very simple solution is put it in this wax wrapping. We got that in KL from an eco-friendly shop, and we have been using it on all of our travels. So this could potentially, you know, save so many soap bars that we unnecessarily open and throw away while we stay in hotels. Now, my killer hack, my absolute mega hack for you massively reducing your carbon footprint and environmental impact while you stay in a hotel is something very simple. And if I would ask you, most likely you would never get the idea. I asked those hospitality students, they couldn't figure it out in guessing. It is so simple. It's not please make up my room, it's please do not disturb. This thing is magic, because if you put this on your door, the cleaning staff will not replace your bed linen. The cleaning staff will not give you a new towel. You know how much environmental impact that has globally. The washing of linen and towels every day coming from hotels. It's unbelievable. The detergent, the water, the electricity to run all these washing machines and potentially the drying machines, because it needs to go fast. This is a gigantic environmental impact. If all of us would avoid the unnecessary change of those towels and bed linens, we could make a massive difference. The only problem is the staff in a hotel gets confused. Why is this guy never letting us in? Suspicious. And then you get those paper slips under the door. Mr. Gelber, room number, blah, blah, blah. We cannot get into your room. Can you still do some, call us when you need the cleaning? So what I usually do, I did that when I stayed 5 days in a 5-star hotel. Recently, I show you what waste I generated during those 5 days. So I actually told the staff on the first day, the cleaners, hey guys, here are the plastic water bottles. I do not need them. I don't need new ones. And I will put don't disturb on the door, because when I stay here for 5 days, 4 nights, I am happy to use the same towel and the same bed linen, and I have my water tumbler that I can reuse all the time. So don't worry, that way you at least give them the information. Whether they pass that on to the afternoon team that might be making your bed, you know, especially a 5-star hotel, they have an afternoon turnover service. Maybe you can even mention that at the check-in. They will be surprised and bamboozled, because hardly ever any other customer will do that. But if we can create a movement, we can make a difference for the environment, and surely we can reduce the cost of running hotels, and by that, hopefully as well, getting cheaper hotel stays, if we really have a lot of people doing it. And then my number 5 tip that I practice, at least when I'm alone in the hotel, check out whether the fan is enough instead of you using the aircon. This is my number 1 tip for you at home, here in a hot climate like Malaysia. If you replace your aircon with the fan, that was the number one reason why my electricity bill was so low compared to the British expat in the condo in KL, because I never used the aircon at night while I was sleeping. I always used the fan. A 1 horsepower aircon, conventional, is about 1,000 watt power consumption. My fan that I was using in KL, when it was not rotating, was only 19 watt power consumption. Only if you have an inverter aircon, that might go down to 600 watt. But the fan is definitely the best. And you know what? Your skin doesn't get dried out. You glow much better. It's actually much healthier to not use the aircon. So these are my top 5 tips. Maybe I should add a 6th one. What about the shower? I have tested it out. How much water do you need? For how long? 5 minutes, 10 minutes? I only need 30 seconds of water. 10 seconds rinsing, stop the water, soap myself with a beautiful reusable soap, and then another 20 seconds of rinsing it off. So I can do a shower with minimum water consumption. Sikit-sikit, lama-lama, jadi bukit. For those of you who don't speak Bahasa Melayu, it's an old saying that means little by little, more and more, we can grow a mountain. If we all work together on implementing zero waste hacks while we stay in hotels, we can create a tremendous, amazing mountain of eco-benefits that our children and grandchildren will be proud of. Sikit-sikit, lama-lama, jadi bukit. Thank you.